Good morning, Nigeria, Nigerians, and the world people. Good morning, my neighbors. How are you doing? This is Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. Thank you for joining us today. Femi Ojo is my name, and on the program we should look into different issues in the nation. This is put together for us to converse about the public good in as much it is worth talking about. This is where you get to hear it from. And as we say it as it is, we make a sense of every issue, analyzing what these issues are, identifying the challenges and providing solutions through the lenses of our critical stakeholders, analysts that we do speak to every day for one purpose: the Nigerian nation and the Nigerian state. Again, I am Femi Ojo, and of course, we look through the dailies every day, the front pages, looking through the headlines, and then we get talking about these issues. And of course, never walk alone, as the Liverpool anthem says. Good morning.
Beautiful morning to you, Femi.
Yeah.
Good morning to you, dear Nigerians. It's another edition of Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. I bid you welcome to today. Thank you for joining us.
Very well, as we will usually do on the program. We look through the headlines, some different pages. We have them already with us here. Different talking points, the issuance or a bill by the U.S. Senate seeking to, issues of security actually. And, don't let me preempt what we have for you today, as far as the conversation is concerned. But really, there is a new U.S. bill that targets, some individuals and organizations in Nigeria that are being alleged to be involved in terrorism, financing, and all of those things, including a former Kano State Governor, Rabi Musa Kwakwan. So his name has been mentioned, and of course, the Makaban, Kataure, as far as Mieti Yala is concerned, some individuals. So we'll look into that at the course of the program as well. But these are the issues we are looking out for you on this day. And of course, a few days ago, former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai granted an interview, and he, in his usual vocal self, said a lot of things and concluded by saying, some persons have been pinned down for an arrest because some of those persons he worked with while he was in office, 4 of them have been arrested on different charges that he as well will be picked up any time, as far as this current administration is concerned. But then it's neither here nor there. So much to look into and to talk about every day. The issues at the National Assembly is still there, now it is gone. The bill has been passed actually. So it has gone to the level of harmonization between the House of Representatives and, of course, the Nigerian Senate to harmonize that electoral bill as proposed for 2026. Here we are on this day at this time.
All right. Yesterday as well, at the Senate, several of the ministries were presenting their budget. And this particular ministry, I can't remember now, and the minister, there were some things he was saying. And you imagine the kind of public office holders that we have, the crop of them in Nigeria today. I saw that. And the things, it was actually saying that, we'll put up that video in the course of time, and talking about the fact that he was expecting praises. He also made mention to the National Assembly that those are not the kinds of things he expected them to be asking him. It was just, funny. I was watching it yesterday and I felt the sort of entitlements, the fact that you feel that you're doing the people a favor, and the fact that you feel that you can go to the National Assembly, because what do we even have? Even the National Assembly, members, some of the things that stands now, and the fact I saw the one the Senate president as well said, and he was like, give them everything, they will still not be satisfied, talking about the protesters. Lots of issues there. And so the things that we say, we've seen we've seen the UK Prime Minister when he's facing other party members at the assembly there. You see how serious it is. A serious business. You don't make spurious statements. You don't make statements that are so bogus and the stance. I mean, the air around you, it reeks of pride and arrogance and all of those. We're going to be putting up that video. We'll see how he felt that just the entitlement thing. I was watching and I felt there was something wrong about the man's stance. There was something wrong about his statements, and it was supposed to be a budget presentation and all of that.
Who is this person you're talking about?
Yeah, I was talking about one of the ministries. We'll bring it up in the course of time.
Okay.
I will see.
All right. The thing is, for me, it depends on if actually the Senate has carried itself as an institution of a bunch of serious people beyond take a bow. Honorable, because you are related to me, I'm related to you, or take a bow and all of those things. Oh, we allow you to go. We've seen situations in which the Senate or the National Assembly as an institution, that the red or the green chamber, actually will give a warrant of arrest. You know, it was done to different persons. Former EFCC boss Bauer, former IGP, and all of those persons, because of their failure to attend summons, and then nothing will happen. Nobody has been arrested, especially public officials. So, former CBN governor as well was summoned for many times under Buhari. You know, at a time the man didn't even respond. Some of them will even send their subordinates to go and you know, represent them. And you see this, the committee, that the House committee or the Senate committee, furious and say, no, this and that, immigration, and all of those persons. At the end of the day, nothing will happen. Do you know why that happens? Because that institution and whatever I represent has been watered down. And so politicians, heads of MDAs, they understand that the worst they can have from that particular institution is to back. They will never buy. They don't have it. They can't, especially when it has to do with politically exposed persons. They can't. Head of agencies, I remember that very, very, you know, closely now. The issue with Bauer at the time, Ibrahim Bauer, you know, former EFCC boss, you know, because he didn't attend summons and all of those things. You can't give what you don't have. The institution has been bastardized. So there is really, especially maybe private individuals that don't know people. We have even seen private companies summoned by the National Assembly, different committees. They won't come. And maybe when they have the time, when they feel they need to, they will come. At the end of the day, you get to hear nothing, and everybody. The worst you could hear is shout. Maybe one senator shouting at the other because they don't agree, not on a matter of principle, on a matter of persona. Oh, you're attacking me. Unweboy versus Senator Natasha. Natasha Unweboy. And all of those persons and individuals, you know. It's
I
just
quite remember now. It was Dave Umahi, you know, David Umahi, Minister of Works. Yes, while he was presenting this budget, we're going to be bringing up that because I don't want to think that I'm the only one who sees something wrong with, you know, the way he was speaking. Some of the things he was saying. You're a public official that you work for the people. You may have been appointed, yes, but your stance there is on the premise that the president was elected by the people and you were brought into that office. You should do well, you know, by the people.
All right. We'll talk more about that in the course of the program. Right now, let's see what the papers have for us. Help you after.
Born Jeremiah Oyeni Obafemi on March 6, 1909, Obafemi Awolowo was a prime architect of Nigeria's independence and most consummate advocate of free education and social welfare in Africa's most populous nation. Erudite politician, thinker and philosopher, Awo was fondly addressed by associates and political colleagues, brought his unique attributes to bear on governance in the defunct Western region. He administered as leader of government business and the premier between 1955 and 1958. Obafemi Awolowo's premiership witnessed pioneering in multi-sectoral policy initiatives and execution. The Western region under his administration paraded several enviable records. First television station in Africa, first real estate in Nigeria, first high-rise building in Nigeria, first modern sports stadium in Nigeria, first agricultural settlement in Nigeria, first modern civil service secretariat in Nigeria, and first industrial estate in Nigeria. His face is on 100 naira denomination as a mark of honor for his distinguished services to his country. Western Spring Television identifies Obafemi Awolowo as a major character in history.
I'm so passionate about African manatee. It's just a gentle, beautiful animal. When I first heard that hunters were killing a lot of manatees, it really haunted me. The box is bitted with cassava. It has a door that is left open for the manatee to come in, then the door shuts. While it's still alive, then the hunter comes with harpoons and pierces it to death. It's disheartening to see this cruel method being used. I know I needed to help to stop the killing of African manatee. At the same time, I also know that the hunters too, they have a kind of connection to what their parents, their fathers have been doing. So I needed to figure out a way to marry a number of things out, stopping the killing of African manatee, their families. My major area of research focused on fishing gear modification. So I was able to come up with a technology. We have a new design of a cage that they can use. And then outreach program. Let them know what is the status of African manatee. Why should they not hunt?
All right, we kickstart the newspaper segment this morning, a very integral part of the show, you know, from the front page of the Daily Sun. Daily Sun for today. North under siege, ACF. North under siege, ACF. Lament rising kidnapping, killings, terrorism in the region. Lament rising kidnapping, killings, terrorism in the region. North under siege, ACF. All right, below that, you have the picture of some individuals there, all right, and further below that, bomb scare at Bayelsa Secretariat. Police arrest one suspect. Bomb scare at Bayelsa Secretariat. Police arrest one suspect. And Senate principal officers in Webboy, hunger clash, disrupt works budget defense session. Senate principal officers in Webboy, anger clash, disrupt works budget defense session. So much, you know, for orderliness at the Senate. Now, drama as Aburi's LP camp dislodges Usman Group from Secretariat. Drama as Aburi's LP, that's Labour Party camp, dislodges Usman Group from Secretariat. With a rider, police have arrested hoodlums who buggered our office, says Usman. Hoodlums who buggered our office. Okay, Dixon urges Harmonization Committee to adopt a reps version of Electoral Act amendment. Here we go. The reps has a version. The Senate has a version. And now, Saraka Dixon, former Bayelsa State government, is saying, if it's possible, that committee should consider working with the reps version of that particular Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2026. Right, and trouble from Yeti Allah as the U.S. Congress pushes for terror organization tag. Right, and report African families and ventilators as economic crunch worsens. Take that again. Report African families and ventilators as economic crunch worsens. Only 10.7% of Nigerians earn above 1 million naira monthly. Only 10.7% of Nigerians earn above 1 million naira monthly. So where is the wealth? Where is the prosperity? These are the issues. All right, that'll be all from the Daily Song.
All right, now let's go to Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. Drama as Nweboy hunger trade word at committee sitting. Wax minister laments poor funding. That's on page 4 of Nigerian Tribune. Alleged religious freedom violations. U.S. lawmakers move to sanction Kwankwaso, Mieti Allah, Fulani militias. NNPP rejects bill seeking sanction of Kwankwaso. NNPP rejects bill seeking sanction of Kwankwaso. Electoral Act, more groups kick over Senate stands. And the riders Bugaje, Utomi, Waba, Yerima, others flay decision. Dixon, the Kuka Center, Yaga Africa tell NAS Conference Committee to adopt RAP's version. Fix politics. Africa wants Senate to rescind unpopular clause. Fix politics. Africa wants Senate to rescind on unpopular clause. Page 4 of Nigerian Tribune has that. And to the lower strip of the paper, Olubado hands over suspected land grabber to security operatives. And to the top strip of the paper, CBN approves BDC's return to Forex market, allows purchase of up to $150,000 weekly. Nigeria's total capital importation hits $21 billion in 2025. Uduwale, that's Minister of Trade. Dangote refineries creates distillation units. Motor spirits block hits 650,000 barrels per day capacity. Dangote refineries creates distillation unit. Motor spirit block hits 650,000 barrels per day capacity. And those are the headlines right there making the face of Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning.
Let's move to the Punch today. Religious freedom violations. Religious freedom violations. APC and MPP back Kwakwanso as the U.S. sanctions tension rises. APC and MPP back Kwakwanso as the U.S. sanctions tension rises. U.S. Congress gets bill. That's a rider to the headline, big bold headline. The U.S. Congress gets bill proposing visa ban, asset seizure for ex-Kano governor, others. U.S. Congress gets bill proposing visa ban, asset seizure for ex-Kano governor, others. All right. Below that, you have individuals, donning a particular attire, where you have the Speaker, Ogun State House of Assembly, Ogun State APC Chairman, the Ogun State Deputy Governor, the Ogun State Governor, former Ogun State, Governor, and of course, a Senator from Ogun State, all of them during the strategic stakeholders meeting of the APC held at the June 12 Cultural Center in Abeokuta. All right, just below that, Tinubu names new NACON chairman. Better still, Tinubu names a new NACON chair as Hajj disruption fears mount. Hajj disruption fears mount. Cybercrime, court jails 2 Chinese directors 92 years. Cybercrime, court jails 2 Chinese directors 92 years. All right, you might want to see the details. El-Rufai anticipates arrest as police detain allies. El-Rufai anticipates arrest as police detain allies. 12 Nigerians nabbed in Ghana prostitution crackdown. 12 Nigerians nabbed in Ghana prostitution crackdown. And Daniel Amosun absent as Abiodun endorses Tinubu for 2027. Daniel Amosun absent as Abiodun endorses Tinubu for 2027. And top strip, blackouts, 300 billionaire power lifeline for hospitals and varsity hits snag. Blackout, 300 billionaire power lifeline for hospitals, varsities hits snag. And Kwara massacre, survivors traumatized after deadly attack. Soldiers occupy deserted community. Kwara massacre, survivors traumatized after deadly attack. Soldiers occupy deserted community. And of course, that's expected that when you are being through such a gruesome attack on your communities and possibly you even have casualty as a family, then PTSD is not, far off. And I hope they get the help, both kinetic and non-kinetic help that they need in that place, so that those communities will not just be overrun by these wicked lots. Senators clash as Umahi defends ministry spending. Senators clash as Umahi defends ministry spending. And coup plotters will face justice. Coup plotters will face justice. I'll be off from the bunch.
Right, the Nation newspaper this morning. The banner headline says alleged religious violation. Kwankwaso faces U.S. sanctions. The writer says ex-governor Mark Ban others on offenders list in U.S. lawmakers bill. Right there, Lagos inaugurates team to propagate Tinubu's achievements. Lagos inaugurates team to propagate Tinubu's achievements. And you can see another writer, Ogo sensitizes APC members on president's performance. Ogo sensitizes APC members on president's performance. Well, this inauguration of team to propagate Tinubu's achievements. But this particular writer about Ogo sensitizing APC members on president's performance. I feel that if the president does have performances, you don't need people, you don't need to sensitize people on performances. Performances speak for themselves. People see performances, developmental strides, on policy. People would see these things, but sensitizing them, it's quite funny. But then that's the politics in Nigeria at this time. So the lower strip of the paper, Dangote refinery attains full restoration, optimization of crude distillation units. Right there on page 4. Dangote refinery attains full restoration, optimization of crude distillation unit. And those headlines right there on the Nation newspaper for this morning.
All right. You talked about a proceeding at the Senate committee yesterday.
Yeah. And you can see that it's making the headlines from different angles. However, people choose to see it. That's the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, talking about that. Well, let's have that video so we'll see where he was presenting his budget and some of the things he said.
We gave you 120 billion. Why should we give Northwest 120 billion and we give Northeast 105 billion? You should also add that. And so we go back to drawing board to understand what happened. But we also join the fact that the Abuja, Kaduna, Zaria, Kano, has 2 projects awarded by Mr. President. And that project is the most important project for Mr. President. He's not asking me on Coastal Road or Sokoto Badagry, but he keeps sending people to me to find out about the progress of that project. Honorable Yusuf, the first project is 118 kilometers. It is 252 billion. President has paid 50% of that project. The second project is 502 billion. It is 164 kilometers, all on concrete. President changed the narrative from asphalt. And when you go there, you find out what the previous administration did on asphalt. They are failing. I'm the one maintaining them. They are not up to 8 years. And so the choice of using concrete as directed by the president is paying off. So you need to commend us, not to tell us that the accident, those who have passed that road of late, are commending us. 502 billion, president has paid 50% of that project. Now I'm taking a certificate of Section 1, 74 billion to Mr. President this afternoon, and I'm taking 48 billion for Section 2 to Mr. President. No any other project in this country is funded like that project. So don't query me on why I should give. We have a Tom Mainland Bridge, and the moment in this country we stop being journalistic, what is 30 billion? Compared to what is given to Northwest. So we shouldn't be talking like that, because the man that is heading the government, Mr. President, is not thinking like that. He's thinking about the nation. And as lawmakers and as ministers, we should think about our nation. Because if we want to analyze the project, you find out that Northwest has the largest share of the project. So please, yes, we should receive commendation, not, because if we speak more, then the house will be divided. The next question to extend the project, yes, this Akwanga just, down to Gombe. And of course, my good brother, Biu in Medugri, for Ndume alone, and Honorable Inua. I intend to discuss with Mr. President, today.
So, you heard the things he said. I probably was queried on why they needed so much again for, the project he was talking about. And the people or the National Assembly members were like, I'm sure that was because it was just reeling out how the thing had been going. First off, it says something about I have been doing that. They said it in the capacity that he was doing it, probably individually. Those are the things. You may not mean it, but that's why when you're doing your budget presentation, when you're to, face the National Assembly, it's a serious business, and you need to mind your words, because those proceedings will be shown, it will be made public. And that's how the stance, the language, your choice of words are very, very important. You don't parade yourself as you're the one doing something. The Nigerian state is doing that through you. You're the one who was put in charge of that particular project. That's one. Two, you were commending yourself, telling them they should not query you on this, on that. And you were asking them to commend you rather than query you. I mean, these are some of the abnormalities we find today in the National Assembly, and through the public officials that we have, the crop of them. And so the people just need to mind the kinds of people that put through elections into the offices. And then that flows, the level, the crop of persons you elect will show, it will flow down to other appointees of government.
Well, for me, I think the man is torn between, stating his own side of the story and with a sprinkle of arrogance in that place, And this is somebody trying to say, I know what I'm doing. But the mode of expression, it's from you guys don't know anything. I'm telling you, you don't have what it takes to question me. The man who gave me the job, that's him softly saying, the man who gave me the job is one I'm answerable to. And he understands me. The rest of you can sit this one out. That's what he has just said in that place. And you know why? Has talked about the institution. Those guys only went to that place, Umai and his ills. We only go to that place because it's statutory.
Yeah.
If not, there's nothing will be doing there. And there's an element of what I just call see finish. Honorable D's, you, more like, I know you guys, just let it rest. When it comes to questioning, you don't have what it takes. I've done concrete this thing, it's working here. Oh, you that you're asking this question, your region, you know, is the one with the highest percentage of votes as far as what is concerned. So you see him mention the name of the president twice. The man who gave me the job understands it, is funding it. And so you guys cannot tell me this is what to do. This is not what to do. It's just, I will, you know, because we are due for a break right now, round it off by saying there is no iota of respect for the National Assembly. And you know why? They made themselves like that. They are the same people. Did you see anybody raise a real objection there? Okay, they'll be shouting match on each side. And by the time they walk out, they slam hands, they shake hands and say, oh boy, Alpha, what's going on? It's because the institution is failing. The Nigerian system, no, let me talk about institutions. They are not seeing themselves that way. If there is a functional institution, where's the principle of checks and balance? They talk about budget and scrutiny. Whatever they do at that place, for years now, does it look like scrutiny? In which, by the time the 2026 budget is finally passed, and all of those things right now, you will still see where a ministry, figuratively speaking or metaphorically speaking, of agriculture, you will have projects that belongs to that of science and tech imputed into that place. And people talk about budget party. I think it was last year or last two budgets that you had a particular funny ministry, I'm using my word carefully now, having budget of training traditional rulers on peacekeeping, how to maintain peace and all of those things that are supposed to be. So don't let's exercise. You know, the state, it's just the way it is right now. The institutions of government, they have relinquished whatever is remaining of them. So what we are having now is big men, big individuals that are parading them, just like you've seen Umai and other persons, parading themselves like they are doing those people a favor by their explaining. That question, I'm not supposed to answer you, but let me just let you know. Because I have a man who has appointed me the president. That's why many persons will always point hands at the president to say, some of these your comrades that are always doing like they have gone berserk in the manner of speaking, with Wike, with Umahi, with all of those persons, you appointed them. If we are in Agumbele, we know Shobo, we are aware. You will say, the president is not aware in Abuja. Let's go on a quick break. I'm sure we'll be back to this conversation someday. Nigeria is ours, and so we can't stop speaking. But will it work? Time shall tell. Let's take a quick break right now. We'll be back. Stay with us.